First off, I want to give all honor and praises to Abinah Yahweh by Hashem Hamashiach Yahweh Shah. It's all praises to the Heavenly Father through his son name, through who the world eagerly called Jesus Christ. I'm Soldier Yatam back in Dallas, Texas, Babylon the Great. And we're bringing out a quick video once again to uplift the nation of Israel and to basically bring some the hardest things that we make so complex in our day-to-day life that's actually ultimately stopping us to get right and corrected to be a righteous man or a righteous woman. So there's another short, powerful lesson on can we judge? Because in the nation of Israel, in the world, we got this concept of only God can judge me. Well, guess what? That's not in the Bible, and that's a very famous song by the marvelous Tupac Shakur. May he rest in peace. Okay, so that's not in the Bible. You understand what I'm saying? So we just gonna go into a few scriptures, and we're gonna prove that not only we can judge, there's a way that we're supposed to judge, because ultimately these is things that's been hindering our community of moving forward as a nation, because we got the stigma of, nah, I ain't gonna say nothing, let them do them, it ain't bothering me. Well, guess what? It is bothering you. It is affecting you. It is affecting the whole community by us not correcting each other. If we was to do more correcting, more judging, we would be a better off people. We would be amazing. We would be loving. We would be caring. We would be upright in the eyes of God. But because we don't read the Bible and we lean onto our own understanding, this is where we fall. And we keep making these same mistakes. So we're going to start off with the book of Deuteronomy. What is the book of Deuteronomy? This is the law. This is the Torah. This is the instructions of God. You understand what I'm saying? You got Genesis, Exodus, Numbers, Leviticus, and Numbers. That is the Torah. That is the instructions of God. And last time I checked, let's just go to the Old Testament, right? Just to prove this point. Let's go to the so-called New Testament, right? Just to prove this point. All right. They say, no, oh, that's Old Testament. That's over and done with. Well, check it out. This is First John chapter 5 and verse 3. For this is the love of God, that we keep his commandments, and his commandments are not grievous. So this is the so-called New Testament telling us to keep the commandments of God. Where do we find the commandments in God? Throughout the whole Bible. But mainly it starts in the beginning. And we're going to go there. And we're just going to touch on, can we judge? Well, let's find out. This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 4 and verse 5. Check it out. This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 4 and verse 5. Behold, I have taught you statutes and judgments. So this is the Most High God teaching us statutes, which is things that we're supposed to stand on, which is the oracles of God on how we're supposed to conduct ourselves while we're performing the commandments. He said, I have taught you statutes and judgments. That what is a judgment? It's like, hey, this is how you're supposed to judge matters. And this is what's going to happen if you don't do what I said. He said, I have taught you statutes and judgments, even as the Lord my God commanded me, right? That ye shall do so in the land whether you go to possess it. So wherever we go on God green earth, we're supposed to be keeping his statutes and his judgments. You understand what I'm saying? We have to do these things, right? I'm gonna just keep reading. I like the next verse. Keep them, therefore, and do them, for this is your wisdom in your understanding in the sight of the nations, which shall hear all these statutes and say, surely this great nation is a wise and understanding people. So this right here was something that the other nations used to look at us and be like, yo, look at the way that they conducting themselves. They don't just let their brothers and sisters do anything. No one's selling drugs in their community. No one's prostituting their daughters. No one's smoking weed. No one's doing none of these things that we doing right now to this day because we was keeping God's laws, statutes, and commandments. Now, granted, it never lasted for that long. That's why we in this balagan. That's why we in this mess to this day, because we kept breaking the laws, statutes, and commandments. But we're supposed to be coming back to the Heavenly Father. And how do we do that? We come back to keeping the laws, statutes, and commandments, the statutes and the judgments, because that's a commandment. Understand what I'm saying? Yes, we can judge. Let's get another one. Let's go to the first chapter of Deuteronomy. Let's go to Deuteronomy 1 and 17. Right? Check this out. This is the way that we're supposed to judge. So not only are we supposed to judge, this is the way you're supposed to do it. This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 1 and verse 17. Yea, ye shall not respect persons in judgment. What do that mean? That means that if you're put in a position, right? You're put in a position where you're now obligated to make a decision on someone that's offended someone, and you're that person that they came to, and they asking you like, yo, what do you think should happen? You shouldn't choose a side because that's your best friend or that's your mama. Right is right, wrong is wrong. I'm gonna read it from the top. Ye shall not respect persons in judgment, but ye shall hear the smallest as well as the greatest. Ye shall not be afraid of the faces of men. So just because that person, he might be angry at you for telling him the truth. He might want to fight you. He might use profanity towards you because you told him the truth. But guess what? That was a righteous judgment. And we're not supposed to be afraid of that because we're commanded to give a righteous judgment. And we're not supposed to respect not the small or the greatest, not the pretty or the ugliest, not the rich or the poor. Truth is truth, right is right, wrong is wrong. Understand that. Yes, we are supposed to give a righteous judgment. Thus saith the Lord. Now, either you believe in this thing or you don't. And that's what it really all boils down to. Our people just want to just say that they believe in this. But when we open up this Bible and get to pointing out things that can only make us better as a people, now we want to say, nah, I don't believe that. Well, guess what? You don't believe in God. Because what I just read up in 1 John 5 and 3, it says, if you love me, keep my commandments. So if you love the Most High God, you're going to judge because you're commanded to give righteous judgment. Understand that. Understand that. Let me get another one. Let's get the book of Deuteronomy. See, it's all through here. And this is the law once again. This is why I like to start always when I do a video, you're going to see me start in the Torah. Because this is what we walked away from. That blood covenant that we made in Mount Sinai. That we said that we're going to follow and uphold the laws, statutes, and commandments. We walked away from that. So I'm going to always bring us right back here. Understand that. It's the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 16 and verse 18, right? Listen up. It's the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 18, chapter 17. What I want? Salakia. It's the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 16 and verse 18. Judges and officers shall thy make shall thou make thee in all the gates which the Lord thy God giveth thee. So what that means is that in every community, in every nation, in every neighborhood, in every household, there should be someone that's laying down the law. Someone that did this. In my household, I will be the father, then I will have my wife, and it'll be my kids, and I will be the judge in the seat that's going to make a righteous judgment when it comes to small matters in my household. In my nation, I will be doing the same thing because this is what we're commanded to do. We're commanded to set people up that's going to overlook the smallest matters to the biggest matters. If the Most High God didn't want you judging, why would He command you to set judges and officers in every gate? A gate is a community. Why would He tell you to do that if you're not supposed to judge? Make it make sense. But guess what? You don't know that because you don't read. And because you don't read, you're lost from understanding. Let me keep reading that, right? And thou shalt make thee in all thy gates, which the Lord thy God giveth thee, throughout the tribes, and thou shalt judge the people with just judgment. So not only are we supposed to set it up, we're commanded to judge the people with just judgment. Going back to the precept I just brought out. You're not supposed to be respecting the rich, the poor, the ugly, the pretty. You're supposed to be giving a just judgment. That means right is right, wrong is wrong, according to the laws, statutes, and commandments. If I see you with a tattoo and you haven't repented for it and you're planning to get another tattoo, I'm commanded to say, hey, brother, hey, sister. Well, according to the book, we're not supposed to get no markings in our flesh. That's a sin. That's what I'm commanded to do. But what are we taught to do? We're taught to say, oh, that's nice. Where you get that from? Where can I go and sin just like you? You see, that's what we've been conditioned to do. But we got to snap out of that. And we got to tear down the strongholds that's been destroying our communities. Understand what I'm saying? And it starts with you. You have to be that person to stop sinning, and then you can go and give a righteous judgment. You can't be no hypocrite. You can't be out here smoking weed, then going around the corner, seeing other people smoking weed, snorting coke, and saying, hey, stop doing that. That's a hypocrite. And you will get judged for that. He said, they shall judge the people with just judgment. Thou shalt not, Salakia, thou shalt not reside judgment through Salakia. This got real tongue tie right there, okay? So it says, thou shalt not restore judgment, thou shalt not respect persons, neither take gift for a gift, do it blind the eyes of the wise, and perverted the words of the righteous. So when you up in that seat and the Most High God puts you in a position to be a judge, you're not supposed to be getting bribes and things like that, because that's what happened. The so-called court system is all wicked. It's not fair at all, because what's going on in there, if you got you a good lawyer, you might get off. What is that? That's a gift. If you pay a good lawyer, you might get off for raping a goddamn child. But in the law, it says that you can't even accept a gift. You're supposed to do righteous judgment. Back in the day, you thought they was getting paid for this? No, that was the office that the Most High God put them in. Understand that. That's why this whole world is upside down. There's no righteous judgment going on. My brother just went to court to get custody of his daughter. Not gonna say his name, but when he got to court, he had all of the evidence proving that that mama was trash. I mean, trash. This lady started crying in court. Guess what? The judge is a woman. So what happened? She started sympathizing with her and gave her they got joint custody. When it's clearly that this mother is terrible. I mean terrible. But this is what's going on. This is what's going on. So we have to come out of this world and we got to get back to the divine order that the Most High God put us in. Understand that. Let me get another one. Saying that we can't judge. Man, you better stop it. You better stop it, man. Let's get the book of Leviticus, chapter 19 and verse 17. No, 19. 19. The classic. Let's get the classic. Thou shalt not hate thy brother in thine heart. Thou shalt not in any wise. Salaki, let me read that from the beginning. It's the book of Leviticus, chapter 19 and verse 17. Thou shalt not hate thy brother in thy heart. Thou shalt not in any, but thou shalt in any wise rebuke thy neighbor and not suffer sin upon him. What is another word for rebuke? Correct. You understand what I'm saying? So we're commanded to correct each other. When we see our brother and our sister going off, we're commanded to say something, to get them back on the righteous path, which is following the law, statutes, and commandments of God. We're commanded to judge each other. This is the book of Leviticus. Once again, you have Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, Deuteronomy. This is the Torah, God's instructions. This is the law. And throughout the whole Bible, you're going to find other laws. There's over 1,600 laws. Understand what I'm saying? And in those laws are judgments. We're commanded to judge each other. That's the only way we're going to get better and we're going to get out of this hell that we call life. We got to stop letting each other get away with stuff. You see that brother is selling drugs, destroying his people. You need to say something to him. Go and say something to that man. If he ain't listening, go bring another brother. Say, brother, you need to, until this get resolved. But we can't keep on closing our eyes, walking away when we know it's destroying us. Understand what I'm saying? Let me get another one. Because this is Israel. We got to just keep hammering it in. 1, 2 times ain't enough. So I'm gonna just keep going. Let's get the book of First Kings. Let's get it. Because this right here is one of the greatest kings, and everyone can admit to this. King Solomon was great. He was wise. He was rich. People from all over the world came to just hear his wisdom. And he had peace when he was ruling. Peace. So understand this. Let's see what Solomon prayed for when he got the kingdom. Let's see what he prayed for. This is the book of First Kings, chapter 3, and verse 9. This is what Solomon prayed for. Give therefore thy servants and under Salakia. This is the book of First Kings, chapter 3, and verse 9. Give therefore thy servants an understanding heart to judge the people, that I may discern between good and bad. For who is able to judge this? For who is able to judge this? Thou so great a thou so great a people. So this is a great, we was a big nation. So he prayed. He said, please give my mans up under me. Give them the same wisdom that you gave me so that they can judge the people with a righteous judgment. Let's see what happened after that. And the speech pleased the Lord that Solomon had asked this thing. So it not only this was a righteous thing for Solomon to want to have a righteous judgment so that he can make right decisions in the nation throughout the nation of Israel. So he asked for this blessing of wisdom to get poured to the man up under him. It pleased the Lord that he asked for that. He could have asked for anything in the world, but Solomon said, give me wisdom and understanding, and give that same spirit of understanding so that the man up under me can judge righteous. So from the beginning of times throughout the nation of Israel, we've always had judges to judge the people. So this whole crap on only God can judge me, you got to throw it out the window. You got to throw it out. But guess what? I guess that's not enough, right? I got to keep on going. Let's get another one. Let's go to the so-called New Testament now. Let's go to the so-called New Testament. Let's see what the ultimate Savior said. Christ himself, Hamashiach, Yahawashi, right? Let's see what he said. This is the book of John, chapter 7 and verse, you know what I want, verse 24. Check it out. It's the book of John, chapter 7 and verse 24. Judge not according to appearance, but judge righteous judgment. So you can't just look at somebody and be like, yeah, man, he off or she off, man. They need to die. Yeah, they the 2/3. They meant for the lake of fire. You can't do that. You have to give a righteous judgment. You have to have that discernment to look at someone and then give a righteous judgment. You can say, well, I see that brother, he just went into a strip club. Yo, man, that brother, we need to talk to him because that's a sin. He shouldn't be going into these places dealing with harlots, throwing his money. More than likely, it's daughters of Zion in there. He shouldn't be doing that. Let's go and judge this matter. Let's see what's going on. Or vice versa. You see a sister, she got her ass out, titties out, and she's puffing on a cigarette. Now that's something you want to go and see what's going on with that sister, and you want to judge that manner. That's a righteous judgment because now you have discernment. You see from right and wrong. You understand what I'm saying? And you want to give a righteous judgment. You don't want to be a false accuser. Understand what I'm saying? Once again, judging is a part of our culture. If you are proclaiming to be a Hebrew Israelite from the 12 tribes of Judah, you must judge your people. It's a righteous thing to do. It's pleasing to the eyes and ears of the Lord. We need correction. I needed correction. When I was going off in the world, I'd say Tawada Yahweh for giving me brothers and sisters that I can listen to. When they was rebuking me, I was able to humble myself down and receive it. Because that's what we need as a nation. We got to stop all this. We can't judge each other. We got to stop that. Let me get another one. I'm going to end it in a minute. I'm getting a little bit passionate. I'm getting real passionate over here. Salakia. Man. It's the book of 1 Corinthians, chapter 2, and verse 15. But he that is spiritual judges all things. And that's what you should be aiming for. You should want to be a spiritual brother and sister in this walk. And you're commanded to judge all things. You're commanded to judge the small to the greatest things on this earth. That's what we're commanded to do. If you're a spiritual person, everybody like to throw that crap around. And yeah, I believe, I'm spiritual. I believe in a higher power, but don't judge me because you not spiritual. You're not that deep. Look here, sister and brother. You're not that deep. Stop it. Cut it. Cut the crap. Let me get another one. I'm going to close it out with this one. It's the book of 1 Corinthians chapter 6 and verse 2. It's the book of 1 Corinthians chapter 6 and verse 2. Do ye not know that the saints, who are the saints? The Israelites, shall judge the world? And if the world shall be judged by you, are you not unworthy to judge the smallest matters? It's a small matter to say, hey, brother, hey, sister, stop being wicked. Stop smoking. Stop snorting. Stop killing. Stop pimping. Stop whoring. Stop committing adultery. Stop gossiping. Stop breaking the Sabbath day. Stop eating unclean. Stop it. Is that hard to do? Verse 3. Know ye not that we shall judge angels? You ain't know that? How much more things that pertaineth to this life? You got to understand this. This is deep. If you can't judge your brother that's steady out there destroying himself and his people, how you ever going to consider to call yourself a god, a queen? See, because we throw these words around all the time, but we not following protocol. We got to stop this madness. Yes, we can judge, and yes, there is a holy divine way to judge. Understand what I'm saying? I'm Soji Atam. Once again, I come up here whenever I can to uplift the nation of Israel and make this Bible that people call it to be so complex, try to make it as simple as bread and water. I'm Soji Atam, here to uplift the nation of Israel. I love y'all. All praise to the Most High God. Shalom.